This week on High Spots and Cheap Pops podcast, the Forbidden Door has been announced. What impact does it have on the wrestling industry? Wardlow and Lance Archer, two big men going at it. We're going to get into that particular match and Wardlow's expanded moveset, including some aerial moves. We're going to talk about Hook and Danhausen, Randy Orton's 20th anniversary and where he stands in history during wrestling, CM Punk, Hangman. Of course, we got Sammy Guevara, Owen Hart Cup, and many, many more things here on High Spots and Cheap Pops with Silicon Steve Valley. And on the other side, my boy, Lottie Dottie, he liked to party. Lottie Dottie, that was a brilliant opening monologue. Well written, my friend. Thank you. That's why he's not the head writer for no reason, folks.
That's why I get paid millions.
You get paid millions in love, millions and
I do.
Karmic love, my friend.
I do, and it's priceless, man. So, but now it's good to be back. A little stretch off, but we've been monitoring everything and communicating, and now tonight we're sitting down and we're going to touch on a couple different topics.
Well, a lot of stuff's went down. I actually had COVID, for those of you who didn't know, and I beat COVID's ass. I'm feeling better. I still have the Smenson smell, so I'm lucky. Lucky at that. I was lucky because I wasn't too far off from my third booster shot, my third shot. I think that had a major part to do with it. And I just did everything that everyone told me to do, including yourself, that helped me get through it as well as I possibly could. So I was beat up a couple days, but overall not too bad. So we're back now. We're a lot to talk about since the last time we got together. And we're going to lead it off with the Forbidden Door, the big announcement. Tony Khan and president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're having a joint pay-per-view. Lottie Dottie, what was your reaction to this great news? Here, that was hit Dynamite. That's his past Dynamite, but the one before, with Adam Cole actually interrupting.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I got to tell you, I don't know if we might differ in opinion on this, but I didn't like that angle to this at all. Like Tony Khan's reaction and facials to different things was a little bit surprising too, a little almost unnerving in ways, just overacting. And I don't know what the deal is, but having Adam Cole out there doing the announcement to me sort of took away from it. And I'm not saying Tony Khan necessarily has to do it himself, but the way they presented it, I was a little bit surprised at. It seemed a little hokey to me. So, but yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to a couple matches here. I'm not the biggest Japanese wrestling fan. Most of my knowledge is coming from you in terms of which matches to watch, which I've followed through, and I've seen some great matches myself, but it's going to be intriguing to see this combination here on American soil and how they adapt to our style as well. So it's an interesting experiment going on. I'm interested. I'm sure I'm going to watch the pay-per-view, and I'm really intrigued by seeing which matchups they decided to go and roll with on this event. And it's going to be something else, I think. But I would have just handled it differently. Have an announcer or something, JR, somebody else make the announcement of what's going on, versus Tony Khan definitely does not feel comfortable in front of the camera. And it's really evident. And I think it sort of took away because he had the real serious president of New Japan, and then Tony, even what he was wearing, it was a jacket with skulls on it that he got at Forever 21 or I don't know, something like that. And he's just he's when they cut to Jay White's music, he's like one of these, so over the top. Who's that? Well, I don't know, man. Your sound guy just hit the button. It's not a surprise. He didn't just walk out here with no music. You guys rehearsed this, Tony.
Yeah. Tony Khan, I think, is doing his best attempt to be more like Vince McMahon, which I think he needs to chill with a little bit. And I don't love Tony on camera. He's not The camera doesn't love him. There certainly doesn't love his voice. He sounds like a 15-year-old boy. Come on, guys, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Ooh, Tony cursed. Now he's gonna tweet at somebody who was bullying him, and he'll come off like a dick. And Bischoff will talk about him.
It's a vicious cycle.
Bischoff,
yeah, he's like he sounds like an extra from the movie The Sandlot. I
didn't love it. I'm with you. I didn't love it. I didn't. It did seem hokey. Hokey's a good word. I thought it was cheesy would be another word. Over dramatic. And the president of New Japan, you figure the guy looked annoyed at best. And
yes.
Tony, was he annoyed because it was such a bad spot, or was he just playing the part? I don't know. The one thing you gotta love is it's Bullet Club all over the place. Bullet Club is going to be all over this paper. I am now almost thinking, is there a possibility that you're going to see the Omega Bucks faction come together for at least one pay-per-view and then have like a little bit of an alliance first and then implode? Because this is something that the Bullet Club has wanted to tell the story of the Bullet Club on this big of a scale for a very, very long time. And you have pretty much everybody except for leader number 1 and leader number 2 at AJ and Finn Balor, which we'll get into a little bit later on. You have everybody there except them two. Everybody. Yeah. And the history is much bigger than what Finn Balor and AJ Styles brought to that group, even though Finn Balor was the birthed it. So that's what got me excited. However, I agree with you. It seemed indie. They're coming off very much recently like an indie show. And he's coming off. He's just not a believable promoter, and he's a great promoter, but he's not believable on camera as much as maybe he believes he could be. But he doesn't deliver his lines well. He doesn't. I mean, his announcements are fine, but when he has to act, I haven't liked that. I'm with you, man. I'm not. My socks weren't blown off. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter all that much. It's going to matter what kind of build you have and what the matches are going to be.
Right. Yeah, I agree with